Hello. So my name is Remi, or Remi, however you would like to pronounce it. And I realized that I never introduce myself in my videos. I think I just haven't gotten used to the fact that there's people watching me who do not know me, and it's just not a reflex, but I need to start doing it. And I was watching on TarotTube videos of people doing the reintroduction tag from Coyote Tarot, and that reminded me that I never introduced myself, and that it would actually be a good idea to maybe do the tag, except it's kind of just a first introduction because I have never introduced myself, like properly. And also I am like newish on YouTube. I guess it's been a little bit more than 1 year. Pretty exciting. But I thought it would be a really fun video to make because I think the questions are pretty interesting. So more specifically, I was watching Marlene's reintroduction video that she posted a few days ago, and I was like, okay, I need to do it. It's gonna be fun for this week's video. So let's go. So the questions are categorized in 3 groups. So there's like the basics, the decks, and your practice. I think that's it. Yes, I'm going to be posting the questions in my description box in case you also want to do it, and I'll be tagging Coyote Tarot, of course. So the basics, where are you from? I'm Canadian. I live in Quebec, in Montreal, and I love living here, except in the winter. How did you come up with your YouTube name? This is gonna be a bit hard to explain. So Remi is not my real name. It's not the name I go by every day. However, I've always loved that name. I love that it's like, it can be gender non-specific, and specifically it comes okay, how am I going to explain this? There was a kids TV show called Macaroni tout garni. Okay, yes, about this like animated dog, like 3D animated dog that was living with like his human friends. One of his human friends was this adult called Remi. Okay, he was a clown. I think he was extremely queer-coded, okay, for the time. He is a lonely clown, very temperamental, and he lives in a wardrobe, a closet. Yes, fair. You know, to read what you want from this. And everyone called him Remi Lamy, or maybe it was like his last name was Lamy or whatever. I don't remember. But I just loved this idea. Like, I was thinking about it a few years ago, and I was like, wait, Remi Lamy, he's like this sad clown, lives in a wardrobe. He's not always sad, but like he's just like always so moody, and he's always complaining about being lonely. And he's called Remi the friend, Lamy the friend. And I just thought it was amazing. And then I feel like that for me was mixed with this other francophone, or like I think it was French, like story, Remi sans famille, like Remi no family. I just love this idea of this like little boy called Remi. In my mind, I've never seen Remi sans famille, I just know about it. This idea in me is like, I am Remi, I have no friends, I have no family, I'm so lonely. And then I love the name Remi, and for me it was like the perfect mix, because it was like Remi l'ami, Remi sans famille, Remi sans ami. And then I translated it into English and it became Remi no friend. Felt right. I hope that made sense. It did not. How long have you been reading tarot? About a year and a half? Maybe, I think 2 years. Wait. Yeah, like about 2 years, almost 2 years. I can't believe I wasn't into tarot before. I feel like it's the thing that it makes so much sense to me. I feel like it's an amalgamation of everything I'm interested in. Do you read for others? I don't, except maybe like for friends here and there. But no, I'm not like a professional tarot reader. Do you use Oracle with tarot? Very, very rarely. I have 2 Oracle decks, and honestly, I think they're cool. I love the idea of it. I just haven't like really gotten my teeth into it. I feel like I'm still like I was gonna say sucking the juice out of tarot. I think I'm still really obsessed still. I think I'm still too obsessed with the tarot system, but I'm open to try. I think I'm open to be inspired. Especially like watching people's videos with Oracle is super fun to watch. So fun to watch. I just haven't gotten the bug yet. Where do you store your decks? Usually if a deck has like a good box, I will keep it in its box. And then if I want to take it out, like with me somewhere, I'll then put it in a pouch, like a random pouch. However, if a deck comes in a tuck box that is like not sturdy or damaged or just old, I will find a pouch for it. Yeah, I mean, I have this one right now. I just made this yesterday. Oh yeah, I made this cushion too. That's why it has the same fabric. It just matches perfectly. I'm gonna show you my inspiration images. Do you see these? I'm really happy. But apart from that, apart from like the decks specifically where I store them, I don't have like that many decks, so I have them in like in a box. In fact, I have it right here. Most of them are here. Some are just like in my bag or here. But yeah, this is where I keep my decks. These are all of my decks almost. The truth is, I need to be able to put them in a place to like store them away somewhere that is inconspicuous, because I'm a like secret tarot aficionado. People come over who do not need to know about this hobby of mine, for now at least, for now. How many decks do you have? I think I have about 13. I'm actually really happy with what I have right now. I feel like I don't think I need any more. I just feel like right now, no matter the mood I'm in, I have like exactly what I need, which is like I'm just like in a really good place with my collection. What do you look for in a deck? So I think I look for many different things. I like depth, honestly. Like I really enjoy a moody deck. I enjoy like a lot of history. For example, like Ritual Tarot, it has a lot of art history, which is like another one of my interest, my hobbies. The Marseille, it's like just like so historically charged. The Rider-Waite-Smith, very historically charged. And then I like just like a tiny bit of a subversion, maybe like a twisted whimsy. Like I'm thinking about Triomphe de la Luna. I do enjoy like more lighthearted things. Like, you know, I do have Magickal Cats, I have Vesper. To me, these are like more lighthearted. How would you describe your deck collection? Delicious, just delicious. It just brings me so much joy. Tarot brings me so much joy. Like I feel like it allows me to just like indulge in art, in history, introspection, spirituality, like the sensual element of it, of like I think I'm like a little goblin, you know. I enjoy like a nice thing, the mystery. Yeah, I feel like these are all the words that really I feel like describe my deck collection. It's like when you read a book and then it just leads you to another book or a certain artist, and then that artist leads you to this other topic. I feel like this is what tarot is. It's like, and my collection is just, I feel like it's just continuously inspiring. Do you have a go-to tarot and oracle deck? So I guess for oracle deck, it will have to be, I mean, I don't really have an answer, but because I have 2 oracle decks, I mean, it will be the Literary Witches Oracle. I think it's so cool. I think it's really cool. You know, like the images are like really fun to pair. You know, like wings. Yeah. So I guess that will be my go-to oracle deck, even though I don't really go to oracle decks very, very often. But I think for tarot, this is hard. I think I'm going to my official answer. Okay, my official answer will be Triomphe de la Luna. Because honestly, right now in my life, this is the deck that, like, as soon as I see it, I just get like giddy. You know, it feels like my friend. It feels like my best friend. It feels like my best friend. In fact, I feel like I have this in my bag. Oh yeah, I found this sticker at a Ren fair, and I was waiting in line to like get some food. I saw this on the table, like right next to the line, and I was like, holy shit. I think this is who I imagined. If this deck if this deck had like an entity, or you know, the energy of this deck, if it had to be drawn, this is what it would look like. But I think this has to be my go-to deck, because when I don't really know where I want to go, to which deck I want to go, this always feels like my home deck. Sometimes I'm out of the house and I'm like looking through my bag, and then I see this little pouch and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's just you and me. Do you rehome decks? If so, what determines if it leaves your collection? I do. Like, honestly, I'd say I want decks that I really use. I feel like I'm kind of like that with all of my things, like with my clothing. Like, I like having a personal relationship and like interacting with my things. If I just don't reach for it, if there's something in the artwork that bothers me to the point where it's all I can think about when I'm shuffling, I have a really good example. This fall, I had acquired an Aquarian tarot, a vintage Aquarian tarot. I was so excited about it. I love the general look of it. It just felt delicious in my hands. I loved it. And then I was looking at the images more closely, and I realized that there was this sort of this type of pattern, almost like fish scales, or like just like this repeating pattern, deeply unsettling for me. Like, I feel like it just completely triggered my trypophobia, you know, like this like discomfort or feeling or fear around like little dots clustered together or whatever. And once I noticed that on like multiple cards, on some cards more than others, when I was shuffling, all I was thinking about was like, please not one of those cards, not one of those cards. And like that was not the type of energy I was going for. So that's one reason. Another reason is a deck that I wasn't using a lot for one reason or another, and that I know someone around me that would like really value it. Yeah, those were like 2 main reasons I have resold decks or given decks away. Or like the art, you know, like if I just don't connect with the art, like it took me a couple Rider-Waite-Smiths to really feel like I wanted to use that deck. Yeah, okay, next. What does your tarot practice look like? Daily, location, tools you use, When do you turn to the cards for answers? I love this question. I feel like I want to ask everybody who uses tarot, like I want to like sit them down and be like, tell me. These days, I do kind of at least think, use, or read about tarot every day. Not always the three together, but I feel like I haven't exhausted this like first this first like run of inspiration and obsession. 2 years or almost 2 years hasn't been quite enough to like exhaust me yet. I've had like maybe like a few weeks where I've like taken a break because I wanted to have some space to like integrate. But yeah, I'd say like most days I like waking up and maybe like reading whatever I'm reading at the moment. These days I'm like reading The Way of Tarot, La Voix du Tarot. I'm like having a bit more of a serious Marseille investigation. And then I like to pull a few cards from whatever deck I'm inspired by. Usually I love a few cards from like Ritual Tarot or the Thoth in the morning. I feel like that's like really fun to pull one or two cards and journal about it. Yes, that's like my ideal morning is like quiet in front of a window with my coffee, read a little bit, feel giddy about the whole tarot thing, pull a few cards and journal about it. And then I feel like that gets me like hyped up for the day. And what do you turn to the cards for answers? Honestly, when I can't put my finger on a feeling, I love using tarot to understand like where I am. That's something I've been doing more recently. Is I feel like these days I have like this like amped up energy, and I'm like not used to that because I was pretty depressed this winter and I had like no energy. And now I have like this like newfound energy and I feel like I don't know where to put it. And I've been using tarot actually to help like kind of ground it, like use it. And that is an example, I guess, of how I'm using my deck or the type of question I ask. How to ground, how to use, how to make the most. I guess I also use tarot when I need like a pep talk. Okay, so for the YouTube Tarot Tube category, what kind of content is your favorite to post and watch? I love to watch people showing me how they see the world, how they think about things. When it comes to Tarot Tube, honestly, my favorite type of content to post or to make is like a somewhat deeper dive on a topic that comes to mind, or like a connection I've made, or I guess of course like the occasional new deck that I'm excited about. But I think when I'm most inspired to make a video, it's because like I had an idea, or like I put two and two together. But like when it comes to what I'm watching, I love seeing how people really use tarot in their everyday lives. I love to see the kind of impact it has on them. I love seeing like what it inspires them to do. Yeah. I also watch a lot of just deck videos. To me, these are like really fun to watch, almost in the background, like while I'm doing other things. I will like every once in a while I will like turn and like see what's actually going on the screen. I love also like a wrap-up video, like a monthly wrap-up, because to me it's kind of a perfect mix of a simple deck video and also a practice video. I feel like it mixes the two, and that's perfect. Also, it kind of gives a really good sense of like a person's taste in decks. I feel like it's a good way to like get a feel of a person's tarot personality, let's call it. What does a typical tarot reading look like with or for you? So won't be like with me. I don't really read tarot for others. But for me, I either use a spread that I just make up in the moment. Like I just decide, like this is gonna be this is gonna be that. Or I like, especially with Marseille, to just like pull a few cards, maybe at least 3, maybe 4 to begin with. And then especially with Marseille, because I feel like there's so much going on with like the directionality, with other systems as well, but like with Marseille, I feel like it's essential to me. So I like to pull out like multiple and then see what I see. You know, like I feel like there's a story that's going to be told. And sometimes it's nice to not have a spread, because you really use your intuition, and that's so fun. Otherwise, I like having 2 to 3 cards and then asking for clarification. I think that's really how I love to read. I feel like it gives this sense of having a conversation. I feel like that's really how I got to know my Triomphe de la Luna in specific, and how I feel like it's a huge part of why I feel like I know it. You know, I feel like this deck has a whole persona within it. It's because I feel like I've had actual conversations with it, where I get a card and I'm like, yeah, but what about this? And then like I pull another card, and yeah. So I like when reading feels like a conversation, or just like I can read the story of what I see in a directional way or something like that. So I guess that's like the typical look of what a tarot reading looks like for me. How did you get into creating a YouTube channel? Oh my god, I've been filming for 40 minutes. So I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel, because I feel like I've been living on YouTube for like since my pre-teens. Okay. And it's only since I got into tarot tube that I felt like, oh my god, I think I have something to say here. I feel like even if I'm not super experienced, I think I just wanted to make videos about the discovery of it, about like what a card looks like for the first time that you look at it, or those like, I wanted to have a place to share kind of those new thoughts, new epiphanies, new inspiration as they come, and as I'm getting into the tarot hobby. It's been like almost 2 years now, but I feel like that was where my mind was at when I started the channel. I was like, oh, I really want to talk about it. And I talk about it with my closer friends, but you know, and like I don't think that they are getting tired of me talking about it, but like I want to talk about it even more. I want to talk about it even more, so I needed a place to do it. Yes. I like this little corner of YouTube where it's not gigantic yet. It's like, of course it's bigger than it was a few years ago, but it's not like super gigantic, and it still feels like personable, you know? And that feels like really cozy to me. It feels like almost as cozy as the actual hobby. Yes. Okay. Knowing what you know about YouTube and TarotTube, is there anything you would do differently? Okay, so I'm still pretty fresh, I'd say, into this TarotTube thing. I think I'm still figuring out how I want to go about it. I'd say my rule, I guess, or my system, let's call it, when I was going about it, was really to not overthink it. And I'm still actively trying to go about it with that principle in mind. I'm someone who tends to like want to do things like perfectly, to almost like write out a whole script. Okay, like I've never written a whole script, but sometimes I was like trying to write just like bullet points, and then I end up like writing everything, and like I have to say this, and then I have to say this way, and I have in here I have to make sure to not go into a tangent. And so my most important principle on TarotTube, at least for now, is to, when I have an idea, just go. Otherwise, I know myself, it will never happen. It will never happen. If I need to have like the perfect editing software, if I need to do all of this delicious, beautiful editing, no video is ever gonna happen, because I'm never gonna be happy. If I have to be fully prepared, if my thoughts have to be fully drawn out, I'm never gonna make a video, and I know that I want to make videos. So the result has been, in my opinion, very imperfect videos, but I'm still proud of myself for just getting it done. Yeah, that's not easy for me to just like get it done. You know, this is not my job. This is a hobby. I would like to get better at it, but I'm hoping to get better at it more like organically, you know, bit by bit, instead of trying to get it all perfect every time I have an idea for a video. Watching Coyote Tarot's reintroduction video, when she answered that last question, oh my god, I related too much to her answer. So she was saying that she wasn't certain if she wanted to like be in front of the camera, if she would just like do top-down videos. I always call them top-down. I don't know if that's like overhead videos, just hand videos. And she says that, you know, like that's the type of she loves seeing people, she loves watching those types of videos, so she wanted to also make those types of videos, and she doesn't regret it. But it's also like there's also this fear of like maybe someone finding your channel, especially if you're not like completely public with your hobby. And I related so much to that answer. I'm in a place where it's very complex. Like I really hesitated to show my face. And it's exactly the same thing. I love watching, I love seeing people. I love like having that type of connection. However, as you may have noticed if you've seen other videos of mine, I'm not always wearing a hijab. I have been wearing it just like overall for like over 10 years. And then in the last few years, it's been like kind of on and off, because I mean, for reasons. And then during that time, I decided to make my YouTube channel, and I was like, do I wear it? Do I not? How do I want to represent myself? You know, when I wasn't wearing it, it's not like I had decided that I would never wear it again. Like I was kind of just like feeling my way around wearing it. And then I was like, am I like misrepresenting myself? Am I like erasing a part of myself? Like it was just like too deep. And then once again, I went back to this principle that I had, which is, let's not overthink it. Where are you right now? What idea do you have right now? Just go with it. And that's in when I filmed a video where I wasn't wearing the hijab, that's because that's what I wanted in that moment. And then now I want to wear it, so I'm wearing it, okay? And I'm not like deleting all of my previous videos. But yeah, basically this question that Coyote Tarot mentioned of like how to like how am I gonna represent myself on this channel, especially if you're seeing my face? Like, this is on the internet forever. What if people find out? I guess I'm not ready for people to find out about my channel, but you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, I feel like I'm definitely happy, I'd say, with how I have up until now like dealt with my decisions about this channel, because it's kind of made it this light-hearted place where I don't need to overthink it. I don't need to overthink every single decision that comes to what I appear, what I'm talking about. It's kind of like this fun place where I get to express myself and connect with other people about this passion, this delightful hobby that I have discovered for myself. Yeah, so I think this concludes the tag, the reintroduction tag. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble on. I hope it was fun. I hope it was interesting. I hope you have a really good weekend, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!